Hello, everybody. It is Friday in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. My name is Adam Bittner, assistant sports editor for multimedia at the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette here on the PG Pitt channel, talking about the Backyard Brawl. It's Brawl Week, Jason, for the last time for a little bit, and that has somewhat been the big conversation. Not so much talking about the on-field, talking about why these teams are not going to play for the next handful of years. It's on the books, to be clear, for 2029 to 2032. It's the interim that they have not been able to figure out. I believe West Virginia had a series with Alabama lined up that recently fell through. People said, hey, maybe they could play Pitt. Now Pitt's reportedly talking about playing Ole Miss in the interim. And so these two programs seem to be ships passing in the night, at least for the next 4 years. Jason, what's your feeling about that discourse that's unfolded this week with Rich Rodriguez and Pat Narduzzi offering some differing takes?
I mean, I think somebody's full of crap, Adam. One of the schools, and it's not necessarily Narduzzi or Rich Rod. I outlined this in a column Thursday morning about if you go back and look at what Wren Baker said, what Pat Narduzzi said this summer, Baker saying he reached out to Alan Greene, and Narduzzi saying we want to play West Virginia. I believe Rich Rod's on record saying they want to play Pitt. I'm not sure. And then Pat said on Monday that Alan Greene reached out to Wren Baker and they had already got the slot filled. So, if you wanted to play each other, you could play each other. You could figure it out. We talk about this stuff a lot with Pitt, Penn State, and West Virginia. And I understand more, and you're obviously on the Penn State side of things, why Penn State doesn't have any use for this rivalry. I disagree with it, but I understand why they feel that way. Both of these teams need this, meaning Pitt and West Virginia. This makes sense for both of them. It's criminal that this is not being played. And then you get this, I use the term get out of jail free card, but like the WVU and Alabama series getting busted up, you're like, oh, all of a sudden we have 2 years, we can extend the Backyard Brawl. Why didn't this happen? If you're WVU, you know this is going on, and you theoretically, you want to play this series with Pitt, why aren't you calling Pitt? And if you called Pitt, why is Pitt not clearing open its schedule to make this happen? Somebody's not being truthful. And it makes me mad because it's such an incredible rivalry series. It's so close. There's a great juxtaposition in the two schools. And again, I don't have a horse in the race. I'm a Westminster guy. I love and hate everybody equally. But I want to see this every year, and it bums me out this last one.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna play devil's advocate a little bit, Jason, as the Penn State guy who's often on the other side of this conversation in terms of the scheduling.
Yeah.
If it wasn't on the books for 2029 and 32, I think I'd be right there with you. I think the fact that it's going to be played again with some longevity in the nearish future, makes me feel better about Pitt saying they want to go play Wisconsin and Ireland and possibly play Ole Miss. That West Virginia was contracted to play Alabama. I think a lot of West Virginia fans want to see that, and I think there can and should be some level of give and take. I've always said with Penn State and Pitt that it would be nice to spread 4 games over a decade and say we're going to play 4 times, not necessarily going to be every year, but you're going to at least get to see every senior class, get to play every senior class at the two schools and have, those matchups that you want to see. I'd like to see a similar thing with Pitt and West Virginia. The other thing I'd say is especially I think both of them fall in this category of in this 12-team college football era and whatever is going to come after this, you do have to, I think, ponder if the schedules that they've been playing are too hard. I think Pitt at one point recently had 3 Power 5 non-conference opponents. That's not conducive to sliding into the playoff the way SMU did a year ago, for example. And so I think that somewhat limits the amount of the opportunities you can have to play these games. If the goal is to make a playoff, to make some national noise, I think I know it's not fun, but if you're Pitt, it's different when Penn State makes the argument when they have a much easier path to get into these playoffs versus Pitt and West Virginia, where you've got to run some level of gamut to get there.
Listen, sir, your alma mater has opened up with Nevada, Florida International, and Villanova. Don't tell me there's no place to play a geographic rival. Save it. There's places to put that game.
No, but if I was Pitt, I'd play one significant team a year. And do you really want that to be West Virginia every single year?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I mean, I would play more than one significant team. Why are you playing one significant team? Why limit it at that? If you think you're any good, play two. What's wrong with that? Play West Virginia. That is a baseline obligation. And I understand what you're saying. I actually like your idea. It got my wheels turning a little bit about sort of a rotational thing where you do like 4 years. Pitt should do 4 years against WVU, 4 years against Penn State. Everybody has like a revolving door. I understand both of those games can't happen in the same season. That's fine. But one should. And if you want to leave Penn State on its own island because it's unrivaled, because Penn State, West Virginia, I feel like is kind of a shoehorned fake rivalry anyway. I feel like that would be tough to convince Penn State to play WVU for 4 years. If you want to leave that alone, I'm fine with it. But I would like to see, like, if you've got Pitt WVU for 4 years, cool. And then we're going to pivot to Pitt Penn State for 4 years, which it's been. I understand that has happened. But that's one school of thought. And the other side of my brain is this is so stupid. They're like-minded schools that are looking for the same thing, located an hour from one another. A lot of their alumni wind up, married or they work together, they're friends. It's a fun back and forth. Why are you not creating this for the two fan bases? That should be the starting point. If you want to play two tough games, great. More power to you, but this shouldn't be optional.
Jason, let's get some rapid fire questions about the game going. Does it mean anything to you if Pitt starts 3-0? This is the functional conclusion of their non-conference portion of the schedule. They'll play Notre Dame in November, but that's going to be late in the year. And Notre Dame's basically a quasi-ACC team at this point anyway. So this is the end of this portion of the schedule. Do you look at them potentially starting 3-0 and say, man, maybe they got something here? Or do you look at last year when they started 7-0 and say, you're going to have to prove it on a consistent basis once these games start to matter?
Yeah, I'm not buying it. I want to believe it. And I think Pitt's going to win. But no. Duquesne, Central Michigan. I think Central Michigan has improved. I was quasi impressed with them on Saturday. But no, I'm not buying it. I think Pitt's going to find out, if we get through the Louisville game, I think that's going to show me something. If they're able to Louisville, Boston College. I still see Pitt. I think Pitt can get to 8 or 9 wins. I really do. I'm probably more optimistic than most people, but I don't feel any better after these two and even beating West Virginia, given some unfortunate injuries on that side.
Jason, what's the level of scrutiny on Pat Narduzzi if they lose this game? They're 7.5-point favorites, according to our friends at FanDuel. West Virginia has the ugly loss last week at Ohio, and I think there's now kind of a general understanding that this isn't just going to be a switch flip for Rich Rodriguez there. So if you're Pitt and you lose this game, how does that reflect on their coach?
I mean, I think it's real bad, Adam. I mean, this is one, you're going into your bye week. You've got everything in front of you. You've won 2 games that you should win pretty handily. You have a WVU team that is down. If Pitt loses this, it will be because most likely it is, poorly prepared or they struggle executing or whatever. I mean, they shouldn't get just beaten, because WVU has more talent. There is a better football team. It's not. It will be because they don't perform as well on Saturday, which I'm putting on the head coach. So, yeah, I think this would be very bad for Pat Narduzzi.
Who is the most important player for Pitt in this game? We've seen different guys kind of make a legacy in this most recent iteration of the Backyard Brawl with some huge defensive plays. Is it someone on defense for you, Jason, that's going to be the next guy in that lineage? Is it going to be Eli Holstein and Desmond Reid, the easy picks, I think? Who are you looking at to be a potential Backyard Brawl hero here?
Man, I want to take one of the Sharks or something like that. Braylan Lovelace. I was down at Pitt on Tuesday. It was neat hearing him talk about, he's a Leechburg kid and grew up, having a pretty good awareness of this. And it's like, you watch it on TV and then you're there and then you get to play in the game. Like, it would be so cool seeing him do something significant in this game. I just think Eli is the biggest key for Pitt. I mean, they go as he goes. I thought Stephen Thompson did a really good analysis piece about his understanding of Cade Bell's offense and how Eli has grown with that. And I like seeing Eli use his legs more. He did that a little bit in the first 2 games. He's been basically protecting the football well, except for 2 brain farts in there, balls that he shouldn't have thrown, absolutely. But encouraging stuff, and I think Eli Holstein is the difference here. He is – look at what he did last year, rallying them late. I think he can do it all game, and just distributing the football to too many weapons. I don't think WVU can cover that many guys.
Well, Jason, I'm excited to break it down with you next week, whatever the outcome proves to be. Everyone else, if you're just joining us for the first time, please subscribe to this new Pitt channel. Always great to have new people on board, new people in the comments. Weigh in, let us know what you think about this Backyard Brawl game. Please like this video if you enjoyed it as well. Help us out in the YouTube algorithm. We always appreciate that. And we will talk to you again next week after the Backyard Brawl.
Thank you for checking out this content from Post-Gazette Sports. If you watch this video on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. For all of the sports coverage the Post-Gazette has to offer, visit post-gazette.com.